So, brother, Abu Fahim, you were saying something when we were talking earlier. Um, when we were on the phone earlier, you mentioned, think about some ideas that you were having, or can you remember what we were talking about?
Well, one issue is one thing I mentioned. You were talking about Ramadan, about the brother that was preparing for Ramadan,
Right.
getting himself because he wanted to make sure, although he had done up to the other Ramadan, he was treating this like it was his first Ramadan.
Naam, aywa, as a whore.
But now that I reflect on what he's saying, he's treating it like it's his first Ramadan and his last Ramadan.
Subhanallah.
You know what I'm saying? When I
Wow.
reflect on what he said.
Now, how did you come up with that?
Because first, when you saying I'm gonna make this like my first Ramadan, my first ever Ramadan, with no errors, the best he could.
Aywa.
But you also have to realize, all of us have to realize this could be our last Ramadan, so we need to get everything we can get out of it.
That's true. And that's what makes brothers go into it with a lot of enthusiasm and really want to approach it properly.
Right,
So,
exactly. Because he know it might be his last Ramadan. So he's treating it like it's his first Ramadan. And also, he may not have mentioned it verbally because
Right.
he's preparing just in case this is my last Ramadan.
SubhanAllah. That's deep because the brother is older. He's almost 70 years old. The brother that we're talking about. But, you know, in light of that, how do you, both of you, how did the both of you, when you approach Ramadan, I mean, has it always been a feeling that you're happy when you approach it, or a feeling of excitement, or is it a feeling of fear? I mean, how have you even had a specific process to approach Ramadan? I haven't.
Yes, you have.
Tell me there.
Actually, because me and you discussed it last Ramadan.
We did.
We were talking
briefly.
about how you're not able to fast during the course of the year on Mondays and Thursdays.
Right.
The Sunnah fast.
Yes.
But when Ramadan comes, you're not even prepared for it, but you just kick right in.
It happens.
It happens. Iman kicks in, bro.
Subhanallah. Allahu Akbar.
Taqwa kicks in, bro.
Allahu Akbar.
Because
Subhanallah.
now that's when you understand that the shaitan is locked up.
So it can't be nobody else but me.
So you saying actually what you see in the individual, that's his true character.
Yeah.
Because nothing can really, bother him or cause him except for his lower desire. His desires aren't locked up.
Wow.
But the whisper,
The shaitan is only locked up.
right.
Not the desires, because that's what's created within us from Allah.
Subhanallah.
That's one of the reasons we fast, to control those desires.
Yeah. And that's funny because there's so many times in the Quran where you hear La yattabi'una al-hawa'ahum, don't follow your desires, don't make your desires your illa. We hear this throughout the course of reading the Quran. But one thing that affected me when we were talking earlier is when you said that you had an opportunity to read the whole Quran from cover to cover. No,
Right.
and that was amazing to me because I've been a Muslim a long time, and I've always started off strong. I mean, even when I was overseas studying, I started off strong with it. Baqarah, I'm doing it. I'm reading strong every night. But around the 7th or 8th night, things start to crumble. Things start to fall apart. Like Achina Chubby says in his book, Things Fall Apart. Things that start to go downhill after the 7th or 8th night for me. And I can't keep up with it.
Here's what happened.
Uh-huh.
My experience.
Okay.
The times that I have read the Quran from its entirety during the whole month of Ramadan, I started reading when Ramadan starts, eating my juice every day, even though I can't understand Arabic. So I want to get understanding. So I can read it. but I want to understand
What you read? Yeah.
what I'm reading.
Right.
So my reading is in the approximate interpretation, what we call translation.
Right. Okay. Okay.
So, but whenever I have completed that reading,
Okay.
what follows is always been prosperity,
MashaAllah.
comfort. But every time I haven't completed it, stopped at the point where you're talking about,
Yeah.
what follows is always rugged and struggle road.
Wow.
This
So-
has been the entire time
That you've been Muslim?
I've been Muslim.
Subhanallah. So you're saying that every time you've been prepared through Ramadan and you've actually finished the reading, and from that point after, you've been very successful and you've had none but prosperity.
None but prosperity.
MashaAllah.
The one thing I can say from Ramadan is usually I've read the Quran from cover to cover, but it seems that some of the verses that I've read year after year, I guess I'm depending on the situation, but year after year, I always learn something new. Although I've read this verse before,
Wow.
it seems like something new is coming out of this verse. It's not just like the same old ayat that you read and you just, okay, it means this. No, it's always something new
Right.
that comes to me during every Ramadan.
And you
Okay.
always end up saying, "Oh, how did I miss this the last
Exactly.
time?" You know what
Wow.
I'm saying?
MashaAllah.
Exactly.
Okay. So, I mean, as far as you're concerned, when you've had an opportunity to read the entire Quran during Ramadan, Abdul Batim, what were the circumstances that you think may have led you to be able to do that, to finish it? Because we live a busy life.
Right.
Brother, you work a lot. We all work a lot. So, just if it's nasiha, if at the very least this is just nasiha for me on how to do it this year, how did you do it,
I
brother?
mean, I had to really make time, but I had training
Okay.
in my previous incarceration.
Okay.
It trained me to read the Quran because that's all I had time to do
Okay.
was to read and study. So upon my release, when I came home, I had to catch it at Fajr. I remember I was with this brother, and the brother said, "Hey, the best time to do things is after Fajr, before Fajr, after Fajr." Because that's a quiet moment. It's a good time to read. You can really get into it. And he said that turns you into a warrior. And I
MashaAllah.
took that advice, and that's how I was able to start knocking out the majority of my Jews during that day, during that time.
So
I
you
could
would
focus
not
on other things.
you would do the majority of the Jews during the morning,
Right.
before Fajr or after Fajr,
Right.
MashaAllah. Okay, that's something that I can try to implement because in the past I haven't done that.
Yeah, no, that was
Okay.
good advice.
Okay,
When he said
mashallah.
it was pretty easy.
Okay. Now, like, did you have any of the results that Abu Fahim has mentioned? He said that after doing this during the month of Ramadan and completing it successfully, that he would feel that the time after that would be very beneficial for him, very productive and things of this nature. Do you feel that same way?
I mean, I really wasn't looking at it from a materialistic and I'm not saying he is, but I'm just saying from material. But what I did realize is that my memorization from year to year became better. I was able to memorize things better.
MashaAllah.
So that was the benefit that I seen. And then I seen if I lacked or if I started slipping, it's like it's gone.
Wow. Okay. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
It's the memory.
The
man.
benefit, it
That's a
benefited your
benefit,
memory.
Yeah, it benefited my memory,
MashaAllah. Your hifz became better.
no doubt.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar.
Now, when I said the following was prosperous, don't get me wrong. It was prosperity as far as in the dunya.
Livelihood.
My livelihood was easier.
Okay.
In other words, I understood that this is coming from the Lord.
Right. Right.
But it also gave me a peace and comfort to where I didn't worry about anything.
Subhanallah.
Yeah,
I didn't worry about anything.
that's
Wow.
another thing.
You know,
Wow.
and it also gave me a peace and comfort to, okay, I fulfill my obligations with Allah. So if something Allah takes my life, at this point, I did the best I could.
MashaAllah. Yes.
So that so when I say prosperity, in some ways is just a peace of mind.
Right.
Yes.
And once you find peace, you never want to let it go.
Right. You never
Absolutely.
know.
Absolutely.
So
MashaAllah. Okay.
I mean, again, the times I haven't completed, yes, I'm like, wow, how am I pay this bill? I'm gonna do this, and those distractions come. That has something to do with the dunya. But also, it takes away from your concentration
Yeah.
and your focus on Allah.
Yes.
Right.
Because you worried about how I'm gonna pay this bill with and then my mind brings me back all the time to think, okay, the squirrels and the birds and the animals, all they do is go out,
Yeah.
and Allah provided for them.
Yeah.
And then you have to, but it is always a relief when you even though you know you're struggling, things are not going the way you think they should go.
Yes.
But you also realize that that's the way it's gonna go no matter what. You're not gonna earn a penny more than you was already written for you, and you ain't gonna pay less.
You know, I gotta tell you, brother, that's for real right there.
Yeah.
Wallahi billahi talahi. That is for real. When you have that certainty, this is what Allah has prescribed. And that's what it's gonna be.
No doubt.
And when you leave it at that, you're gonna shoot your shot. You're gonna try to do what you do. But you understand that it's all in the hands of Allah.
You need that.
I need potatoes.
Oh.
Yeah. So when you understand that, I mean, you operate with a different operating system.
Right.
SubhanAllah. I mean, you go into everything like, if I take a L, it really ain't a L, because this is what Allah has sanctioned for me.
Now, let me, that you spoke about that, I want to go into something because there's one thing that I've learned from a particular brother that we all know, and this is a part of his mannerism, his characteristic, his adab, that he relies totally on Allah with no fear. No fear.
Wow.
And it's the brother Yahya.
Okay.
I'll give you an example. I remember when I first met him, and I took this to heart. Not when I first met him, but when we got together when we were out. The brother had he had a nice truck, he had a nice car. You know what I'm saying? And he pulled up in the masjid. You know, he wasn't flashy or nothing, but it was a nice car. And
Now, this was after he had got out of prison.
Yeah,
right?
after he came home.
Both of y'all had came home.
Yeah.
And y'all just kind of
Yeah,
kick
yeah.
it. You doing your thing. Y'all hadn't formally hooked up together
Right,
yet.
right.
Okay.
No, he
all right.
had told me. He said when he came home, he had him a nice car. And a brother that knows us came up to him and said, hold on a second. A brother came up to him and said, brother, that's a nice car. You know, well, how much you pay for it? Where'd you get it? And you know, Yahya was like, oh, you know, I'm still making payments on it, this and that. And the brother said, oh, okay. He said, brother, you know, that's riba. You know, you might be involved in riba. Have you checked? And Yahya was like, well, no, I really didn't investigate about that, but I will. So when he did, he found out that was the case, and he said he had been wondering, why am I having so many problems?
Wow.
Wow.
That's what he said.
SubhanAllah.
So when the brother gave him that advice and he went and checked, he said he turned the car in.
Right
He said-
away?
Right away, the next day.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
He
Wow.
said he turned it in, got him a hoopty. This and that. He said from that point, from the time he got the hoopty, this is true in life. Every time he tell me this story, I start thinking, man, Allah's the greatest.
Yeah.
He said as soon as he got the hoopty, that like maybe a couple of months later, they call, hey, you been on Hajj? No, I ain't got no money to go on Hajj. Get ready for Hajj. We sending you on Hajj.
Allahu Akbar.
Wow.
So he went to Hajj that
Allahu
year.
Akbar.
And then he got married that same year. He been looking for a wife. He said he went through about 20 sisters.
Yeah.
And he ended up getting married to his wife.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Then he said,
Mashallah, mashallah.
after they was married, him and his wife went on Hajj together. Somebody sponsored them to go together.
SubhanAllah.
And then he said after that, His wife got sponsored to go by herself. So they both been twice. Him by himself together, then her by herself.
Wow. And that shows
And
you
he had no money. He went and studied in Egypt for free.
no money.
No money.
Subhanallah.
So I mean,
Subhanallah.
that's total reliance on Allah.
And you
total
know,
reliance.
just like the hadith, the ayat that we just were talking about, what does it say? Nabluwakum bi shay'in min al-jaw, min al-khawfi wa jaw'i wa naqs al-amwali. That Allah will test us. He's going to test us. It tests us with something from our fear. We're going to be afraid. You know, we're going to be fear of hunger. You know, in a deletion of our money. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be tested with these things. So when he was tested, subhanallah, he answered.
He stepped to the plate.
He stepped up to the plate and hit a
He
home
stepped to the
run.
plate.
MashaAllah.
And it
That's
really-
encouraging and
it
a
really
great
benefited
example.
him. Benefited. I mean, there's several brothers. That's like a close companion, but there's several brothers that I've,
Witnessed that
witnessed
happen.
not necessarily witnessed that particular situation, but just picked up on certain aspects of the characteristic and the mannerism. And I've always taken particular parts from every brother that I was able to be around and sit with or study with.
MashaAllah.
Like for instance, I just give you a few examples. Abdullah Aduro.
Uh-huh.
I remember, I think I mentioned a story to you brothers about when I first went to one of his halakas. He was talking and he asked a question.
Uh-huh.
And me standing up with my little bit of knowledge thinking I knew the answer, I said, brother, what you first must understand is that Allah says in the Quran, and I rambled on and on and on. Now, remember, I'm
What
speaking.
Sheikh Aduro do? Did he body slam? No, I'm
he
just
sat
playing.
there,
I'm just playing.
And he let me speak.
MashaAllah.
He let me speak.
Yeah.
And mind you, this is a graduate from the University of Medina
Aywa.
in fiqh. So I'm going off.
Uh-huh.
And he just said simply, after I finished, for
Uh-huh.
about 10 minutes, no, sit down. So he looked at the rest of the people that were there and he was like, this is why seeking knowledge is very important with the proper people and not saying things on your own understanding, because you could
Subhanallah.
mislead the people.
Subhanallah.
And you could tell a lie against Allah and his messenger, sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Subhanallah.
And I took that from
Sallallahu
him
alayhi wa sallam.
that day. I took that. So he was serious about it. He said we should be serious about our studies. And so that I learned being serious about the deen, not in a way to where you walk around
Abrasive,
aggravated. Yeah, abrasive.
or- yeah,
no, just
yeah.
in a way that understand when you studying something, you studying sacred knowledge.
Aywa. Right.
You're not just studying anything.
Right.
So with him, I learned that. With another brother that I sat with, he's also a graduate from the University of Medina, brother Issa Parala.
Uh-huh.
Now, like night and day, they know each other.
Uh-huh. They actually grew up together,
they grew up
basically,
together and
studied
studied
together.
together.
Yeah.
But the point was like they night and day, because Issa is very, very patient.
Very patient. Very patient.
Like,
MashaAllah.
I remember one time we was in the class. We started out with like 15 people, and it ended up just being me and Yahya. But we went through the whole book, Usul Thalatha, and he was patient with us. Like
MashaAllah.
I've never seen nobody patient like that, and would sit and listen, let you get your point off, correct you in a nice, calm, cool manner, let you know where you went wrong.
MashaAllah.
You know, and even one time when he was challenged on this particular issue, he still stayed calm and just simply broke him off in a smooth way.
Wow.
So I just seen that patience.
Yes, yeah.
That's one thing I picked up from him. Be patient, man, when you approach this knowledge or when you're learning
Yes.
or teaching,
Yes.
because it's very important. You don't want to run anybody off.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Or you don't want to limit yourself or not, give your full potential when
Yes.
you're teaching somebody.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you have to be patient.
And I think when you're not patient, you ruin your opportunity to really go past those struggles and those obstacles that are going to come in your way as a teacher or as a student.
Right.
Because sometimes as a student, you're going to hit a roadblock.
No doubt.
There's certain information that it takes a long time to get.
Yeah, it is. That's true.
To understand the concepts, since we all of us, we grew up with concepts of 3 and 1 and this and that, and then as we got older, we read about this tradition, that tradition, and trying to find our way. We read these other traditions. So all of those things are still there. So when we hear the concept of Aqidah, Iman, and all of these things, being explained, sometimes it takes time.
No doubt.
And it could make you run away.
Yep.
Or just give it up and say, well, I'm just gonna do my salat. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pray, fast, pay my zakat, and that's it. You know, and understand la ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that's it.
But I'm gonna tell you with that being said, I think it's very important for even some of the we'll say moderate Muslims or not moderate Muslims, but Muslims that are what's the word I'm looking for? Muslims who haven't yet reached a certain level, or before they move on to another level. I just said
Right,
like that.
okay.
They should, really try to master and focus on the fundamentals.
Arkan.
Arkan al-Islam.
Yes.
The brother said, Ibn Umar radiallahu anhu, Buni Islam ala khams. Islam is built upon 5.
5 things, yeah.
And we know those 5.
That's it.
And once you get a strong, because we have some brothers who their interests are other things.
Yes.
But these 5 help us on a daily basis. They help us with our marital life.
Yes.
They help us with our finances. They help us with our business transactions.
Right.
These 5.
Right.
And we should learn we should really focus on them because these are things that we apply every day. If you look at different things like eschatology, or if you look at different aspects of many top says, just the deeper knowledge, not deep knowledge, but the deeper knowledge.
Right.
You got to master the fundamentals first.
You got to.
That's and anytime I've had success, I've understood. I'm talking about in anything, not just living the deen. I'm talking about even businesses or anything that I've tried.
In the street life, you got to understand it before you
understand the fundamentals.
Yeah.
You master the fundamentals and you try to apply them.
Yeah.
You're gonna have success in whatever you do.
Right.
If you try to skip over them, it usually doesn't work.
SubhanAllah, that's deep, man. And one time when I was growing up, I had a coach, a basketball coach. He used to call me shake and bake the hot dog. And he would say that because I always would like to try to go between my legs. I like to shake it. He said, Bennett, you're standing in the same place, dribbling for 3 minutes, looking at yourself.
Yeah.
You ain't going nowhere.
Right.
So he said, why don't you just practice on moving laterally and vertically with the ball? Right. And passing it, a simple chest pass. The pass does not have to come from between your legs, Bennett, or from behind your back, or from out of the side of your ear. Right. He said it doesn't. He said, get the fundamentals down. And, this is back in the early 80s when Magic Johnson was very popular. So, we all trying to show time.
Right.
But this was one thing that was critical in my development as a basketball player, going back to the fundamentals. Right. Jazakallah khair, brother, for that. That's great nasiha. Great. You want to add something to it, brother Abu Fahim?
No. Back on, I remember it was this brother. It was a book I was reading, and I can't recall what book he was reading. And anyway, his brother, one imam went to another imam. He said, "I'm not learning. I can't learn." You know what he told him?
What?
Stop sinning.
SubhanAllah. I think that was Imam Shafi'i.
I was just about to say that.
SubhanAllah.
He told him, say, stop sinning.
Stop sinning. SubhanAllah.
So, even when in most of the difficulties we do, we brought it on ourselves. So I talk to some people from a day-to-day basis, and they say, how you doing? I say, I'm good. I ain't got no complaints. They say, oh, complaining ain't no good because ain't nobody gonna listen.
Absolutely.
But I told them, wait a minute. First, if you complain to yourself, because more than likely, anything that's going wrong, you the one that did it. You the cause of it.
SubhanAllah.
And you're playing to God because if anybody can straighten it out,
absolutely,
it's gonna be him.
Check this out. By him saying that, this leads me to somebody else that I picked up on and learned something from, and it's Sheikh Zubair. We're all familiar with him.
Rahimahullah.
I went to one of his halakas and he was teaching. I went to several, but he was.
Hafidhahullah. Sorry about that.
Yeah. I went to several, and he was. One thing that I got from him that he would always say. He would always tell me personally, man, be happy. Just be happy. He was always smiling.
He was.
Regardless, whatever situation he
Subhanallah.
went in, he was
Subhanallah.
always smiling, and he would always give the advice, brother, just try to do as much good as you can in this life. Do as much good as you can in this life. I
Subhanallah.
remember he married a brother. The brother tried to pay him. He wouldn't take anything. No, save that for your man. No, I did that. Just period. Like he wouldn't take. He wanted to do always do good. And I
Wow.
learned that from just trying to strive to do good because you feel like, and that's where his happiness probably came from because he's always doing good. He had nothing
He
to
really
be,
did, man. He
feel upset
definitely
about.
did. Subhanallah. Subhanallah.
Yeah, so-
And what really surprised me, going a little bit further on Sheikh Zubair, is when after he got out, because when the Association of Masajid, the Islamic Association of Greater Houston, when they wouldn't renew his work visa, he was put into custody. When he got out, he wasn't even mad at those people. Everybody else, we were upset.
Yeah, we were
We,
upset.
we was ready to go. Everybody was talking about, man, we can't have it. We was upset for Sheikh Zubair. Sheikh Zubair said, man, it's not even, he said, alhamdulillah, now I get a chance to reunite with my family and do this and do that. And that was monumental.
I'm gonna give you an extra reason why it wasn't.
Pull your chair over, son.
I'm gonna give you an extra reason why it wasn't. Because when he was incarcerated for that short period of time, over 80 people took their shahada with him in there.
Really?
80.
Yeah, I heard that.
Over 80 people took their shahada. And how long was he in there? What?
I bet you think about 30, 40, 45 days.
45 days, 80 people. Why should he be mad? Because from that point on until these brothers he's getting Baraka.
Wow. Well, here you go, sister. Thank you. Thank you. We'll get this.
Thank you. Can you get one more?
Can you get it? Thank you. So 80 shahadas.
80 shot over 80. I just don't know the exact number. I don't want to say it, but I know it was over 80.
That's amazing, brother. Okay, now I understand with his mindset
Yep.
why he wouldn't be happy. Because I was amazed at the smile that he had on his face. He was glowing, bro.
Yeah, he
I
was
mean,
glowing.
he had Noor when he came out. I was like,
Yeah.
wow. And as
So-
he was getting ready to leave and everything, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, so much so he still had jokes.
Yeah, he did.
He did have. He
I
still
remember I told him.
'Cause I saw him at a Dar es Salaam bookstore, and he said, I had an outfit, some kind of baseball shirt on. He said, "Oh, you a baseball player now?"
What got me was one time I was messing with him and said, I said, brother, man, I want to really sit at your feet. Oh, here they are here, sit. I want to sit at your feet. Lord.
Again, since we're on Sheikh Zubair, and I want to say this about Sheikh Zubair, and he is the only imam in Houston that ever made me feel like I was acknowledged as a Muslim.
Wow.
And I'm gonna tell you, I used to go to, bruh, I have matches I attend regularly. I'm not talking about on Juma. I'm talking about matches I attend in Fajr, Isha, on a regular basis for months.
Right.
No one in there even bothered to really, not one imam has really bothered to know my name or anything.
Wow.
You know, or not even, some of them have even came up to shake my hand.
Now, and you've been a Muslim for quite some time, right? After
Right,
Fahim, okay.
right.
Yeah.
So,
And in this area.
in this area.
So people, you would think that they would make
Bruh,
that effort.
Bruh. So, but Sheikh Zubair, and I hadn't been going there but a little bit. I used to go to Masjid Al Farouk.
Yeah.
He was the imam over there. I used to go there like on the weekends. Just on the weekends. We had a little new Muslim program. And that program, Sheikh Zubair used to see me there, and I hadn't been going there that long. And he introduced himself to me, and not only did he do that, he invited me to his house
Wow.
to eat.
Wow. Yeah, I've never heard that. I've heard, shaking hands and even introducing before, but that far,
His
no.
brother even
Yeah.
invited me to his house and ate. That made me feel like I was.
You a part of something.
I'm a
Right.
part of something.
Yeah.
I'm a part of the brotherhood of Muslims.
Was the food good though?
Well,
I'm just saying. You always.
I can't remember the meal.
Yeah,
I can't remember the meal
You were
because-
so overwhelmed by the gesture.
Right,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then the discussions we had.
Yeah, I was just joking.
And he used to, and he asked me questions about the mother half. You know what I'm saying? And,
okay.
it was just, it was just a fulfilling encounter
Wow.
that I've never experienced from nobody else. I mean, bro,
Before and after.
Right.
After.
this right as we speak, I go to alhamdulillah, but I attend this masjid
Uh-huh.
regularly.
Mm-hmm.
And the imam now has never approached me. And granted, it's a lot of Arab people go here, attend this match. So,
Okay.
and a few Indo-Pac, not
Okay.
very many.
Uh-huh.
But it might be 3 African Americans that go there. And I'm maybe the only one that's there consistently at Fajr and all that.
Right.
Yeah. So you would think they would make an effort.
Right.
Yeah.
That's your masjid.
Yeah.
I'm the new person.
Yeah.
So at that point, you have to understand. Well, you don't question them as Muslims. You don't question that because first of all, you understand, bro. I'm just trying to get reward from Allah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but you form a habit
Yeah.
of like, okay, I'm gonna just go on and make my salat and get a salam
Yeah.
when I'm faced with somebody.
Yeah.
Because of what I've experienced,
Okay.
bruh, I've seen brothers. This is what I've experienced. This is my personal experience.
Right. Right.
That you in the masjid at Jumu'ah, they shake hands with you.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
salam alaikum. They shake hands, salam alaikum. Bruh, you see that same brother? He done forgot your face now. He's forgotten your face, but you see him at the Walmart shopping, won't even give you the salams.
Wow.
And I mean, I'm glad I don't have to call no names, but it was just on today. Just today, bro. When we was leaving the Juma,
Yeah.
I ran across a brother and he came up just like they all do, salam alaikum, speak. And I think Abdul Batin said, you know that, bro? You know him?
Yeah. That's what I said. I asked him, I said, do you know this brother? And he said, I think I do.
I think I've seen his face, but you know what? Let me tell you something. Again, this is an issue with foreign brothers.
And I think that's something that needs to be addressed.
Here's what
Go
happened,
ahead,
bro.
finish.
Me and this brother were at Masjid Al Farouk during Ramadan almost every night together. Even in the last 10 days, his son and my son, we almost slept next to each other. Woke up in each other's face.
Wow.
Bruh, and I didn't call him out today. It's been several times at other matches I've tried to speak to that brother, the same brother, looked at me like I had nudges on me or something. You know what I'm saying? But today I called him out.
Oh, you did?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I checked him today.
Okay.
You know
Well, I
what
mean,
I'm saying?
that's because that's an issue.
Yeah, it's an issue. So.
That's the issue, that is.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, go ahead.
I couldn't help but overhear you guys talking. Whoever was talking about learning the basics, it is so spot on. Because my own sheikh, I'm a Sufi. My own sheikh, 2 days ago was literally saying the same exact thing.
Wow.
Mashallah.
And was telling me
Mashallah.
that, hey, my name is Adam. I'm
Okay.
a web developer. He's
Okay.
like, Adam, if you know your web development, but you don't know what you learned in kindergarten and first grade, you're literally of no use to general public.
Right.
Because you need to learn.
You gotta have the basics.
So, I mean, whoever it is.
All right,
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I
brother,
learned
right.
something.
Alhamdulillah.
Whenever I hear something that benefits me,
Right.
I can't, help but.
I
overhear
got
it.
you.
Well,
Can't hold it
man,
back.
mashallah, brother.
Just suck it out of you
Mashallah.
guys.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Jazakallah khair. Wow. So there you go. So that's how it happens, man.
yeah.
It's got to be seeking for knowledge. I'm going to say that real quick. We seeking for knowledge. So go ahead.
So I mean, this is just an encounter. So that's just experiences I've had as a Muslim.
As a Muslim, okay.
And it's an awkward position, especially for African Americans.
Yes. Right.
Because we have been so long used to being rejected because of who we are, or what we are.
Yes, absolutely. Okay.
So when we see that rejection, but a lot of African Americans come to Islam, okay, finally we found a brotherhood.
They're open arms.
Open
It's
arms.
usually
We
like
come
that.
with the open arms, and then you find, oh, whoa, it ain't like that.
But now because from my perspective, from where I see it, that it could lead to problems, and because I've seen it before when brothers they say that, okay, this is a brotherhood, I'm joining this because it's a brotherhood, and not really understanding those basics of La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. But when you understand that first, and then
Back to the basics.
Yeah, back to then it's the brotherhood. Okay, so when that rejection comes, you're gonna understand that whether rejection is there or not from the insan.
I come to worship Allah.
This is for Allah.
Because
This is for Allah.
I was just
Yeah.
going to lead into that.
Yeah.
You touched on it. I was going to lead into it that we have to understand that Allah says in the Quran that the deen is perfect. He's perfected the religion, but
Yeah.
people aren't.
The people are not. The people are not.
So we can't actually attribute that to the deen
Right.
in totality.
What the actions of the people.
Right, you can't attribute that to the deen, and we can't lose focus and be like, man, it ain't no true brotherhood, because it is. When you study the seerah of the Prophet, you study the status of the Sahabas in different books, you see how closely tight-knit they were as a ummah. And the brother spoke about that today in the Kufa. He said this ummah is one ummah. You see what I'm saying? So there you have it. We can't actually attribute that to the deen. But on that note, I learned something from somebody else. Because it seems as though now we speaking about broad issues, but we detailing some of the things that go on with the issue. And it's this brother. That's what I learned from this brother, Abdullah Smith.
Okay.
You familiar with him?
Yeah.
You familiar with Abdullah Smith?
I don't know.
The graduate from the School of Hadith.
Yeah, School of Hadith
in
in
Medina. No, all right.
And he was telling us one time, this is what really made me understand how detailed and how profound these individuals who compiled the hadiths and criticized the hadith to make, Sahih, Hassan, and so on and so
Aye.
forth. He said, when we was in this halakha, he was teaching, he said that, if me and you, he gave an example, he said if this brother and this brother came and they were both here speaking, and one brother got up and stepped out the room to go get a drink of water and came back maybe 30 seconds. But he was there. And I just turned to you, hey, what did he say for those 30 seconds? He said, he's more credible than this person, although this person was there. Those 30 seconds
Mean a lot.
mean a lot.
Yeah.
And that's what I learned about paying attention to detail.
Wow.
That
Wow.
goes back to
Yeah.
what we was talking about as far as like starting with the basics, pay attention to detail.
Yeah. You got that.
I want to also clarify something.
1 second.
In the course of me getting the rejection, I understood. I never really had any hard feelings.
Right.
It was just strange to me.
It's strange.
It was just strange to me.
Okay.
But
Okay,
I
yeah,
always
I'll see you on
understood
my
I'm gonna just take the rejection or whatever it is. It might not be rejection. It just maybe that's the custom they are used to.
Okay.
But I always kept the reason why I was there
Okay, I
in
said
front.
If that was foremost.
That was foremost.
Yeah.
So even though I might have been, I didn't stop coming. I didn't stop coming.
Right. You continue to
I
to
continue
go,
to
yeah.
do what I do because
What your responsibilities were to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
exactly.
Yeah.
that I can't continue in my responsibilities.
Okay.
So it's just that this is not a discussion that's new.
No.
This is an open discussion.
Right. So,
Almost every African American has had this discussion and has also witnessed the same thing.
yeah, and that's why I said that this is an issue that it has been discussed and it will continue to be discussed
Until it's fixed.
Until it's fixed. Yeah.
Until it's fixed.
And we're going to work on it.
And the thing of
Inshallah.
it is I'm gonna give you something else, and this is my own thought. I mean, what I'm doing is just keeping it real.
Yeah.
How we say keeping it real.
Yeah,
I'm
right,
just
right,
keeping it real, bro.
right.
Because we just having a table discussion.
Yeah, it's all
It's
it
a
is.
casual table discussion.
Right.
I think
But
there's a text for you.
oh, that's a Texas on.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
don't hit. You distracted me. You got me. I was
Oh, we finna go into it.
Oh man, I was
You
thinking about
finna
something
lose.
real.
Said this is just keeping it real.
Right. Yeah. Well, no, it was just keeping it real. But where I was going with it, I like kind of lost it.
Okay. All right.
But unless you retract, what we were saying. Like I was saying, yeah, every African American goes.
Yeah, it goes through, and it's gonna be a discussion that's gonna continue on.
Until we fix it.
Fix.
Right.
But yeah, I can't.
Can't get it
I
back?
can't dial it
Okay.
up. I can't dial it. I can't reach and get it.
Well, we gonna stop it right here. Brother Abu Fahim, he got some things to do. So, but this is good. This has been good. I really enjoyed this discussion, man.
Yeah, open dialogue.
It was good, and I think that having these type of discussions will lead to further discussions and really, inshallah, to fixing something.
Okay, now I think I'm almost back.
Oh, you got okay.
Yeah. See, a lot of those brothers need to know how we really feel behind closed doors.
Okay.
And part of it is, I think sometimes that, okay, when you understand, like he and I,
Mm-hmm.
bruh, we went to prisons.
Right.
Our background might not be the same as yours.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? We went to prisons. We were involved in criminal elements,
Okay.
activities rather,
Okay.
prior to Islam.
Uh-huh.
So our background and so our struggle to get to where we need to be is a little different.
Absolutely. The avenues.
The avenue,
Yeah.
that's a little different.
Uh-huh.
But how we feel, the rejection we feel, again, if it wasn't for Iman, that the Hidayah come from Allah,
I
Right.
Yeah.
most of them brothers would run you away from Islam. And I've heard people that say, man,
Yeah.
I've heard people that new Muslims have come around them and like,
Yes.
they
Yes.
get back, bro.
But see,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
the thing about it. That's why I said that's the beautiful thing about Al Manada, because we understand what it takes, and it takes a lot of patience. Man.
Yeah. No.
It takes a lot of patience.
Right.
It takes a lot of understanding.
Uh-huh.
It takes a lot of knowing how to give knowledge to people so they can get an understanding.
Right. Right.
You see what I'm saying? It doesn't, and that's what brings about the brotherhood, because as you know, when you're incarcerated, that brotherhood is like this.
And the brotherhood is close. The brotherhood
You're
is close.
forced almost to have that type of connection
Yes.
inside.
Now, and
Now,
I,
brothers,
I
let
don't,
me-
I don't know.
the-
Wait,
the-
before one
Oh,
thing
okay.
goes away, I
Uh-huh.
want to say this. I have seen that brotherhood,
Mhm.
but I don't have no reservations about how people feel about what I'm about to say.
Okay.
But I've seen that brotherhood and with brothers from different parts of the world,
Absolutely.
and we had that brotherhood, but most of them was on the Salafi Dawah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
They understood the deen. from
They
what it
understood
was
the
based
fundamentals.
on the fundamentals from
yeah.
the Quran and Sunnah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alhamdulillah. Okay. Well, brothers, it's been good. Brothers, it's been good. And this is, like we said, this is just something that the brothers, we are brothers, we're part of that.
Just
Al
beneficial
Manara.
reflections.
Yeah, just beneficial reflections from the brothers from Al Manara. And so, inshallah, we're going to try to maybe have these coming out in a systematic way. Every once in a while, we'll do something like this. So, inshallah, make dua for us, and we'll do the same for y'all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.